Hello everyone, and welcome to the Double Meal Dad Kitchen. I'm your host, the Double Meal Dad. The concept of Double Meal Dad is a simple one. How can I stretch my dollar further by buying foods that are on sale and yet not have to eat the same thing over and over again? Essentially, get two meals in one. When I was a single dad, I always wanted to ensure I made good meals for my kids, but couldn't necessarily afford to buy all of the different types of meats that are available at the grocery store. Plus, you know, all of us have busy lives and we're all looking for ways to make cooking at home easier. We don't necessarily want to run out and buy fast food for our kids every night, or come home and have to worry about ordering a pizza. Occasionally that's great, and we love to do that, but every night it gets a little bit excessive. So voila, the concept of the Double Meal Dad was born. And today we're going to have a little fun with chicken. I used to be a poultry butcher, and Mama Rose and I were talking about this, and it's hard to believe that that was 30 years ago that I used to be a poultry butcher. Over 30 years ago. It's getting long now. So I bought whole chickens. Now, you're looking at me going, okay, DMD, whole chickens scare me. First of all, why can't I just buy the parts in the grocery store? Well, you can buy the parts, but the whole chickens were 77 cents a pound. And that's a heck of a lot cheaper than buying the parts. You know, when the parts are going for $2.97 or $3.97 a pound, you can save yourself a lot of money by buying the whole chicken. There's another benefit to the whole chicken, and that is we're going to get a lot of parts out here for soup. And remember, the whole concept of Double Meal Dad is to find out how we can utilize the same meat and make more dishes out of the same thing. So let's go ahead and get started. And really here, what my goal is this is going to be a fairly short video, because bacon chicken, everybody has their own recipes. I'm going to post a simple recipe for you online to go ahead and bake up this chicken. I'll show you how I put it together. Most important thing that you need to do, and another tip from the DMD, is make sure you have sharp knives in the kitchen. You're going to cut yourself. You're usually going to cut yourself on a dull knife trying to force it through something. Sharp knives will help you considerably. A couple different ways. I'm going to show you the steel in just a second. Or you can go out and buy yourself one of these. I've got plenty of these. You can get the automated kind. These are real easy to use. Just go ahead and drag it across. I know some of you folks are out there, you just cringe like fingers on a chalkboard. But really easy to try not to hit your counter. And go ahead and just sharpen that knife. Now, I'm a little bit neurotic about this. I like to kind of clean the knife off after I've done that in case there's any files. If you don't have one of those sharpeners, I know all of us have probably gotten one of these either for our marriage, or our wedding day we got one of these, or a wedding shower, or we were passing by and everybody said, I gotta have a knife, a block with a bunch of knives in it, which is great, but a lot of times we don't get high quality knives. I encourage you to invest in some high quality knives, and here's a little trick when using a steel. Now, some people like to use a steel this way. The really good chefs can sharpen their knives this way. I won't tell you about the accident I had at the chicken shop, accidentally sharpening the knife and catching a finger on that one. The other way is, I know some people like to sharpen their knives this way. A little bit harder to control the steel. If you can, just simply find yourself a nice surface. And you'll notice that one of the tricks the DMD uses is a lot of times your cutting boards will slide. So I just have a little piece, you can see underneath there, I have a little piece of the drawer mats on the bottom there, the things that help keep your drawer covered inside your cabinets. And that just helps us keep this from sliding around. And now I can just put a nice little steel on my knife, and you'll see that I got a nice fine edge right there. We're going to put this back in here, and I'll just, again, give that a quick wipe. So now on to the chicken. Real quick, very simple to do. There's two different methods we're going to follow. Okay? The back of the chicken is right here, and there's not a lot of meat in here. So you can simply, if you want, cut right down the back and cut through the back. If you do that, you will leave, and you've probably been in a restaurant where you've seen this, you've got some of that back or some of that bone on there. I'm going to show you a different way to do this. Very simple, very easy, just a couple of slices. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to show you folks who like to eat boneless, skinless chicken how to bone the chicken breast out of here. Very easy to do. So all we're going to do is we're going to take the wing, like we're shaking it and saying hello to it. Right back here where this kind of, where the skin is here, we're just going to put a slice. And you'll notice that the wing is just opened up. Very easy. And then right in between there, there's a little knuckle, and we can see that knuckle, and look how easy that came apart. It went right through. Now I've got a sharp knife. Very easily I put the knuckle. Typically I like to save this part for my soup, so I'm just going to put get that out of the way so you can see it. Right in between there, that's another knuckle there. I'm just going to put a little steel right through there, and I'm going to save this for my soup. Same thing on the other side. It's the same exact thing. We're coming right in between here, kind of where the armpit is. We're just going to make one little slice, and look at that. The skin just pulls away, the meat pulls away. If I have to make another couple slices, I can, just until I get to that knuckle. And then I'll see the knuckle right there, and look at how easy that was. Everything just pulls right away. Not a lot of hard effort involved in this. I'm going to save those chicken pieces, and I'm going to save those parts. So look, now we've got our little chicken. No more wings left on it. Very easy. Here's going to be our breast. The drumstick and thigh are going to be exactly the same thing. By the way, a lot of you call this part the leg here. This whole thing is the leg. There's the drumstick. That's the thigh, as we call it in the butcher, in the poultry trade. Same thing. We're going to take this skin right off of here, and now you'll notice that the leg has pulled itself away from the carriage of the chicken. So now I can come in and just cut along that skin line there, and guess what? There's another knuckle right there. So I'm just going to cut right through there, and look how easy that was. Now I can trim off the fat. That's not going to be any good for me. And there, I've got my leg. Now, here's the trick. See that little fat line right there? See that little fat line? That's where we're going to run our knife across. And if we run our knife across, and we just feel in there, we should feel right between the knuckles, and look at that. Very easy, very simple, nice drumstick. And now we've got that, not hard to do at all. So again, we're going to do this one more time just so you can watch how this works. I've got a big pocket of skin here. I'm just going to cut right along that skin. Good sharp knife, can't overemphasize that enough. I'm going to come all the way around and look at what I've got here now. Now, when I come down here into this knuckle, sometimes what will happen is it'll catch this backbone here. Just put your knife right along that backbone and just give a little peel. Just give a little push. Don't pull too hard. You just want to use your knife. Let your knife do the work. And what will happen is, this is what we call the oyster right here, this little piece of meat. We want to make sure we get that onto the leg, or the thigh in this case, so that we don't leave it on the backbone, because we're going to use the backbone for soup. Again, what's our trick? Right along the fat line. We're going to come right along there. We're going to put a little pressure. Look how easy that came apart. No work whatsoever. Again, we can trim off the fat, and not a problem. Now, here's the fun part. So the back has just got two pieces here. We've already done all the work to remove this. All we have to do is make two lines, one on either side of the back, and now we don't have a lot to cut through because the back has just got a little bit of bone attached to and it peels right off. So there we've got our beautiful back. This is money for soup. Gold. This is going to turn our stock into liquid gold. All right. For those of you who like boneless, skinless chicken breasts, this is a really simple step-through process to bone a chicken breast. We're simply going to try to stand it up on its keel bone here. We're going to put one little knife push into the keel bone and just turn it, twist it just a little bit. See how it'll open up that cartilage and see how that falls apart? Okay. Now take your finger, go down the right side. Take your thumb, go down the left side. Grab the keel bone and just pull. Comes right out. That's garbage. That's no good right there. Now, as we know, Thanksgiving, big turkey, this is where our wishbone is, okay? So we're just going to peel this open a little bit and give ourselves, because we already cut it, it's going to give ourselves access to this wishbone. So you can see the wishbone in there. Go ahead and just slice that wishbone right out so nobody cuts their teeth on it. Come back to the other side. Just put the knife right underneath the edge. Nope, don't work too hard here. Just put it right underneath the edge. Let the knife do the work, and that wishbone will come out. Now, this is the toughest part of the whole thing, but still very easy. right at the point, at the top here, we're just going to put our knife and we're going to make a little slice. And look at that. The rib cage is just coming right away from the rib bone. Then we're going to come back up and we're just going to follow with just a slight pull, not even that much of a pull. We're going to be able to just follow right down the line, and look at this. Boom, comes right off. Look at all that beautiful meat on the bone that we're going to be able to put into our roaster, roast that up, and make some beautiful chicken broth. Now, you righties, you came from this side, right? When you come over on this way, you're going to have to put the point up towards you, okay? So here's my right hand. When I'm working on the side of the breast, that would be the left side of the chicken, I would start like this. When I'm working on the right side, I'm going to come around here and I'm just going to do the same thing. Follow right down along the edge there. And look at how beautiful that came out. I'm going to trim a little of this fat off as well while I'm here. I'll just go around the top here. Look at this. Just put one slice through there and look at that. Now, if you don't want all this fat in your stew, just pull that out. And see how simple that was to bone a chicken breast. Now, if you want boneless, skinless, just pull that skin right off, and you've got a beautiful boneless, skinless chicken, which is costing you what, $5.97 a pound at the grocery store? So save yourself a lot of money. I've got a beautiful, that's got to be over a pound chicken breast for, what did this chicken cost me? $3.94, plus I got all the rest of the parts. Okay, I'm going to go through this one real quick, show you again. Again, we're just pulling the joint apart here. So I'm holding the joint up, pull that back towards me, go right into that knuckle. Same thing with the leg, coming right in here. Remember the skin right here? We're going to go right into the skin, pull this right down the side, come up here. And don't be afraid to, pop it out a little bit there. It's okay. You don't have to use, the knife doesn't have to do all the work. You got good hands for this. Go ahead and make that work. I'm going to take both of these off at one time so I can cut them both. Okay. Again, remember the fat line. That's what we're going down. We're going to try that one more time. Right down the fat line there. Again. Nice and easy, not a lot of work. Try to make all of our lives a lot simpler. We started this video 7-8 minutes ago. I've been talking a lot, but I'm going slow, but look at that. You can cut up a chicken in less than 5 minutes. You got all this beautiful meat. On top of that, when you buy the bag of chicken, you'll get the neck, which has got a ton of flavor into it. I'm going to go ahead and just show you my soup bowl right here in my dish. You'll get the gizzard. I know a lot of you don't like to eat gizzards. I have a great recipe for gizzards I'll be sharing with you closer to Thanksgiving. This is the chicken hearts. I'm not going to show anybody the chicken hearts because I don't want anybody to turn off the video. And of course I got the chicken livers. Now I do the same thing with my chicken livers that I do with my fresh, my vegetables when I cut it. I'm going to freeze those, and then when I have enough, I'm going to go ahead and give my hand a quick wash here so I don't get the liver flavor on my chicken. I'll go ahead and freeze those, and then when I have enough of them, I will actually I'll make up some chicken livers, some homemade chicken livers. So I'm going to go ahead and do this breast one more time. Now, if you don't want to bone and skin the breast, it's the same process. You put a little knife in there. We're going to crack open the keel bone. We're going to open this up. That's garbage. We're going to take off the wishbone like we did before. And the only difference is between the way we did it before, where we boned and skinned the chicken breast, and now just splitting the chicken breast, is you have a little bit of a membrane right through the middle here. Now, you go to some restaurants and they shortcut this. They don't give you the good quality. What I want you to do is I want you to make 2 cuts. I want you to make a cut on the right side and then a cut on the left side. And what this will do is it will pull, it'll leave the membrane out of the chicken, which in my opinion, it gives you, so there's our nice chicken breast. We've got it in our pot. Here's our other part of our membrane. I'm just going to trim up this fat a little bit so we don't have too much fat. Just be careful when you're pulling here that you don't pull the fat away from the chicken. That you don't pull all the skin away from the chicken, so you have a little, like I did there, I pulled a little too much away. But so you have a nice chicken breast with some nice skin on it to keep that moisture in. Well, that's it for this episode. Like I said, just a short one. Wanted to show you how to do that. I'm just going to do this up with a simple little bit of chicken rub. I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees. That's going to take about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. We need a temperature of at least 160 degrees on the chicken. That 158 kills all the bacteria. We want to get 160. And remember, it's going to keep cooking, so by the time you serve, it's going to be closer to 170, 175. So make sure you don't overcook your chicken. I hear a lot of people that say, I got to cook it until it's 180 degrees. If you do that, it'll be 190, 200 by the time you serve it, and it'll be really dry. So if you have dry chicken, you're probably overcooking it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of our local Fiesta chicken rub on it, and I'm going to put a cup and a half of chicken broth that I made before, and we're good to go. Thanks for joining me in the Double Meal Dad Kitchen. I hope this tip was helpful, and I hope you are adventurous and decide to cut up your own chickens. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks.